Guys, what's going on? Matt here, and welcome back to the Black Ops 3 Mod Tools tutorial series. So guys, in this video we're going to be adding in a doorway. Now we've got the doorway itself kind of, mapped out really. We just need to be putting in the actual doorway itself and two doors. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this video and the next video somewhat pretty closely related. So in this one we're going to be putting in the actual doorway itself, along with a bit of trim and a bit of details around it. And just making everything fit quite nicely. And then in the next video I'm going to be actually making that into a prefab. I'll explain it in that video though, exactly what prefabs are, what they're used for. It's just really good practice though to get yourself into. So enough about what we're doing, and let's actually do it. So then, first of all I need to get the actual door model itself. So over on model view I'm going to search door frame. Now I always use this one for a lot of things. It just fits quite well, so I'm going to left click and drag it. Have a good browse in here though, see which ones you want, and see which models you want to use. So I'm going to drag this over to where we want it. Now you notice it doesn't quite fit though, so I'm going to drag the walls into place. If there's anything that you don't understand, in terms of just actual dragging things around and making things, I would definitely recommend you going and watching the previous videos, because I'm assuming at this stage, as I'm progressing through these tutorials, that you've seen the previous ones. So I'm not I'm not reteaching things that I've done previously. I'm just building upon it. Otherwise, future things will take absolutely ages to actually do, considering I'll have to go really slowly. So, which is perfectly fine, but I don't want to be doing 20-minute videos for something that takes 2 minutes. So, yeah. So, we've got the actual walls fitting here. That's nice. Notice I've overlapped it though slightly. That's just because I don't want to have there's a bit of a gap here. I don't want to have that gap showing, and there's no harm done, considering it actually sticks out from the wall slightly. You see, it's not actually flush with the wall anyway. There's not really much harm done there. If anything, it's just better. So we've got that done. Now let's make some floor to go down here. Pull it down. There we go. Level it all up with the walls. And let's give it a call up texture. There we go. Now let's apply a texture onto this. So go back to texture, sorry. And we'll go for just wood, because I know roughly which one I'm going for. There it is. Right, let's go for this one. So we've applied that texture, and you'll see we've got a bit of an issue here. We need to align the texture properly and also make it fit in this direction, the same way this is fit here. Okay. So to do this, we're going to go over to Surface Inspector. If you don't have this, you can right click and go down to Surface Inspector and put this within your UI wherever you want it. So what we're doing is we'll rotate it. So you can see it's rotated slightly. Rotate it a little bit more. Now you can see it's facing in the right direction, but it's not fit. Okay, it's not it's not how it should look. Now the best way I can possibly describe this is, if you look at your texture here, look at which part of it you want it to fit. So if you wanted this entire thing, so from here to here, to fit from here to here, then I'd use vertical. So you got under the fit section, you have horizontal, vertical on both. So vertical is you want it to fit vertically, horizontal is you want it to fit horizontally. In this case, it's the edges that we're concerned about. Okay, the edges clearly, the texture probably goes from about here to about here or something, but we want it to fit within this small space, and it's this part here that we're bothered about, this width. So I'm then going to hit horizontal, because it's the horizontal axis we want it to be fitting by. Now you can see it's fit there nicely. So if you don't understand that, the best way to really do it is honestly just the experiment. Just try different things. Horizontal fits horizontally, vertical will fit vertically, sorry, and both will literally fit in all the directions, but it will typically result in a bit of a stretched texture, unless whatever you're doing really does require that. So escape to deselect on that. Now we've got pretty much everything set up here. We're going to add a bit of trim around the door, and then we're going to add two doors into it, okay? And then we're going to add a clip, which is basically an invisible barrier. So first of all, let's go back into our 2D grid view, and we're going to draw some brushes. I'm going to have it slightly overlapping, not too much. I'm going to have it about 4 thick. So, you know, it's enough that for a trim. It's not too much though. I'll bring it up to about here. Copy it over. Make it fit again. Lovely stuff. Drag that again. There we go. So now I'm going to do what we did to the walls in a previous video, and I'm just going to cut the edges just to make it nice and flush. So you can see instead of them overlapping, they're now nice and not actually combined, but you know, they do flow quite nicely now. So we've got that going. Now let's put this back to a cork texture, because you know, it's just good habit really. That if you're not using a texture, and if you're not using one of the faces, don't texture it. Simply put, only texture what you're actually needing to. So I'm going to Control Shift left click these faces, and I'm going to go over to my textures again. I'm going to go for wood trim this time. I want some sort of termite looking thing, which is, I know it's this one. We'll click on that one, and then I'm going to fit it horizontally. You can see it fits there quite nicely. And then I'm going to do the top ones now. This doesn't fit nicely though, so I'm going to go over to rotate it. That's now rotated. Fit horizontal, and that's fit quite nicely. If I was to fit vertical, you can see it looks quite weird. In this case it doesn't look too bad, but in some textures it really doesn't look very good. So I'm going to fit it horizontally, make it look like it should do. So now that's done. We've now got a door with a trim and a bit on the floor. So you see from that, from that to that, that looks significantly better now. This is what we're kind of going for. Next, let's actually put 2 doors in and then make a clip. So we can go to models. I'm just going to use door just because I know it's at the very top. Pretty much before I start recording, I tend to look at what I need so I know roughly where it is. So you can use any door, just search for a door. I personally want to use this one. I just think it'll fit quite nicely. So left click, drag that in. There we go. Now you'll notice, I didn't do this on purpose actually, it's just a good way for me to show this. You'll notice it's not actually on grid, it's out of grid. So to get this back onto grid, you go do Control G, that snaps it to grid. So even if you are, you know, let's say you're in a grid 1 and you drag something in and then you go, say do that, and you go back and it's not quite right, instead of messing about and trying to align it again, you know, you might miss it once going back and you do it again, just Shift G, Control G, and it'll fit there nicely. So I'm going to just align this to where I'd like it to be. Now I plan on having these doors sliding into the wall, just purely because the doors that I'm using, I just want it to do that. I think I want it to kind of be a bit of a sliding door. Okay, you can have them rotating if you want, do whatever you want. I'm going to fit it like this because I want them to sort of slide into the wall. So I'm going to put the door there like that. That fits really quite nicely actually, although it's a bit too big. So I'm just going to go over to Entity Info, and under Model Scale, I'm just going to lower the scale a bit slightly to about that. See how that fits. Let's put it behind the wall like that. There we go, so that fits a lot better there now. Got a door nicely in there. Now you'll never actually look at it from, actually no, it does look a bit weird that. Let's put it back to how it was. Because it's sliding into the door, it needs to slide into the door. That was a bit of a bad decision there. Put it towards the centre. There we go. So now let's copy this and rotate it for the other side. So you can see we have 2 doors and a doorway. Next, let's go into filters actually, because I have these deselected, I think. Do I? I don't know. Where's clips? It should be under geometry. Clip, there we go. Right, so I'm going to select that. Filters, you shouldn't have to mess with these to begin with. Because it's giving me pretty much all the settings that I had before I did a fresh install, so it's giving me all them still. Bit weird, so, but yeah, I mean, it's good. I don't need to configure anything. Just make sure you have clip selected on there, so you can, you can actually see all your clips. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a brush over here. just like this, fitting with the actual wall itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to textures and just do clip, and I'm going to go for clip, and all that is I fit it around the wall, so it's basically in this space it's been put over, and that's going to prevent players now from walking directly through it. Obviously walls are solid, models are not though, so you do need to be clipping models. So that's how you do a clip. It's you literally just give it the texture clip, and that is now an invisible barrier. Simple as that. So in the next video we'll be prefabbing this trim, so we can use it multiple times. We can use it multiple times anyway. It's just a very nice and easier method of reusing things. So in the next video we'll be prefabbing things and moving on to actually making this entire place look a little bit more like an actual cabin. So then guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. But other than that, I hope it helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll, as I said, we'll keep on progressing this map until we have a fully playable one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.